Hello and welcome back to another First Impressions video brought to you by MMO Play. Today we're taking a look at an upcoming MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena, called Prime World. And this is a MOBA that is actually coming to North America and Europe later this year, and it's being developed by Nival. And it does have a little bit of variance from other MOBAs. There is a castle building metagame and a collectible card game for talents. So there's a little bit more to it than just your traditional MOBAs. There's a progression system. The main game mode is going to be the Borderlands, you know, similar to League of Legends, Dota. There are going to be 3 lanes guarded by turrets, bases, purchasing. Actually, buying, you really only buy consumables, which we'll look at when we get into the game itself. Currently, there's about 60, 65 heroes in the game. 30, looks like 64 and 32 for each faction. There are 2 factions. And most of the combat, other than this little base building area, does take place in a PvP arena. This is just part of the game. It's part of the progression of the game. You can see I have 2 heroes I have access to currently. So I'm actually going to go ahead and be playing the Electric Surfer. I want to play that one though. We got to unlock it. So let's go ahead and hop into the MOBA action itself. Alright, time for the disclaimer. Generally, MOBAs are higher skill cap, a little bit more to learn, a little bit more, just a little more difficult than a lot of games. And this is my very first playthrough. There, I'm covering my butt here. This is a ranged style character that has some point blank abilities, or at least medium range abilities, and movement speed seems pretty slow early on. For the most part, that's my skill tree. You level it up as you go. It's not quite straightforward as other games where you just have just a handful of skills you choose from. And it doesn't seem like last hitting is quite as important in this game as it is in other games. It seems like the most important thing is experience and staying alive. Also with the fact that you basically live off consumables rather than item upgrades, you really don't need to so much worry about your item build. A lot of your building comes in the form of talents, what you do before the game starts. And then, of course, your skills you can level up as you go. And I decided to go towards the bottom lane, which you can see the movement speed is quite slow in this game. There is a teleport, but it's on a long cooldown. Some of the consumables do include a teleport. So I do have a melee ally with me here, which is pretty good in case we get janked. And there's a control point here, so we want to try to grab that if possible. And here comes the creeps.
Hold still.
So this is a faction versus faction game. You pick your faction action when you start your character, and you can see it kind of affects where you're going to be and the kind of creeps you have spawning too.
Here it comes.
There's my ally hacking away at the tiger. And those are the 2 enemies. They both have a form of stealth, so that's... Stealth tends to be pretty nasty towards mages. You see the disappeared? Time for me to vanish. Time to get away.
Let's roll.
My one ability I have right here, this hammer, it is a snare. There we go. You can see the map changed when we controlled this point. So that's kind of a nice little twist there. A little bit Dawngate-esque where the map changes as you push the game forward. Leveled up so I can grab a new skill, or kind of modify a skill, or you get passive stats, like I just grabbed a passive stat. Probably the biggest thing about this game is you do have to learn what all the different abilities do, and you probably want to learn it before you get into the game. You kind of want to have a skill order. Instead of having a gear order like you would in Dota, you probably want to figure out what order you want your skills in. And that's probably the biggest difference. That and having your escape tools. Run away, I'm getting snared, run away!
First blood.
Couldn't do much about that when I was being chain snared. I didn't have any sort of escape moves at that point. Probably being a little newbie, not going to buy potions before I leave. So here is the starting base, and this is the store. I can buy health or mana pots. There's also speed pots, there's a purge, there's teleport.
Adventure awaits.
And just head back down, and hopefully my partner isn't getting farmed too badly. You can see some of the fun graphics here. All the little... Got the little marbles going in the chain. Got the trains going on these tracks. Kind of a really cool looking map, I think. Well, let's get back into the game itself. Slowly. It is click to move, so no WSD. Hence why you're seeing the green arrow everywhere. Spam, spam, spam. And when you're not in the combat, you're not getting XP. If you're not getting XP, you're not getting levels. And bad stuff happens when you fall behind in levels. So you have to worry less about gear and more about just surviving. That seems to be the most important part of this game. So if there's one thing you can learn from this playthrough, it is don't die. So we got some creeps. Looks like my partner might have pushed them back. Either that or they're... Oh, there they are. But they were waiting at the tower. And I got stunned temporarily. Getting snared. Kind of resetting my aggro, although I did leave my partner hanging. And they've marked me, so that's going to be fun. One of the other consumables is an ability to light up the map. Ooh! That was a good range attack. So this is me not knowing my abilities and not knowing my opponent's abilities. That is probably one of the hardest parts about most MOBAs, is knowing how to work with a team and how to counter your opponents. So I'm going to grab some pots. I really, really need them. There we go. I got a couple of health pots. That's pretty much it for buying. There's not much in the way of gear. If you're interested in the game, check it out. It's called Prime World. Currently in the beta. It's expected out at some point this year. If you like the content, stay tuned to more for MO Play. Thanks for watching. Come on, creeps. Let's get them. See you guys next time. Bye.